our administrators, and just more importantly, we thank you for our students and just their willingness to adapt to whatever the situation arises. We just pray for our men and women who are overseas and protecting our country here. Our first responders, just keep them safe, be with their families, just be with our country, and pray that we might come together and be healed. But most of all, we just thank you for the great love that you showed us in giving us your Son, and it's in his name I pray. Amen.
6:33 start time. Would you rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll start off with Student of the Month tonight.
Perfect timing. This is Naomi Diallo, and she was nominated by Mrs. Merle. Naomi comes in every day with a big smile on her face and is always ready to learn. She helps her classmates and teacher when needed. Naomi loves school, and it shows every day. I'm so happy she is in my class. Congratulations. And next we have Leo Bennett. And Leo was nominated by Mrs. Williams before she went on maternity leave. It's okay, I won't embarrass you, Leo, I promise. It's real short, okay? Leo is always attentive, he asks great questions, and is always doing the right thing. He is a great role model for others.
Good evening. The middle school student of the month is Nate Turpin. Nate Turpin is an 8th grader, and his teachers and fellow classmates said that Nate gives compliments and is kind to all people. He shows he's tenacious because if something is hard, he never gives up, and he believes in himself, includes everyone. He's always supportive even when you do something wrong, and he stays focused and has great grades. This says good grades, but I know you have great grades because I already checked. So congratulations.
Hello, our high school student of the month, nominated by Monroe-Gregg Pulitzer Prize nominee Steve Reeder, is Jackson McPherson, senior. Jackson's not here because he's running in a cross-country meet tonight. He's been involved in cross-country and track in his whole 4 years here at Monrovia. He was the winner of the Bob Huffman Award, which is a prestigious cross-country award that we give out each year. He attended Hoosier Boys State and the Luger Symposium at the University of Indianapolis. He's a member of DECA. He's a member of National Honor Society and Sunshine Club. Jackson is planning on attending Indiana University next year and majoring in marketing.
Those students of the month want to come up, we can get pictures taken. We'll come up here by the wooden bulldog.
This resolution, do we put
Yeah, we have to.
ABCD in?
Yeah.
Parents, if you want to come up, take pictures, feel free. Yeah.
Steve. Oh, Steve. Hey, Steve. We have to vote on these resolutions individually or just once? Just once. Okay.
Do you want me to take the picture?
Yeah, you can.
Do you want me to do your picture?
Yeah.
Is he trying to get you?
those parents that are here, you can feel free to leave at this time, because I know you've typically got all kinds of stuff going on. You're free to feel free to stay, but you don't have to. So you can leave at this time if you want to.
Item number 3 is going to be public comments. We had nobody sign up this afternoon, so we'll move on to item number 4, which is the resolution for the adoption of the 2026 budget.
Yeah. So in the past, I think you, as a board, have voted on all of these together. So if you want to do that again, I can just run through all of the resolutions at once so that everybody understands kind of what we're doing tonight. Some of it is going to be a repeat from last month where we had our budget hearing. Tonight is when we actually adopt the 2026 budget. So I will just go through each resolution one by one and talk through kind of what the board is voting on and what it means and all that good stuff. So the first thing we have is the 2026 budget resolution. Basically says that what we are adopting tonight are calculations and estimates. The Department of Local Government Finance is the one that will go through our budget when we submit it, and they will make any decisions on cuts that need to be made as far as the tax rate, tax levy, and all of that stuff. And it also gives me the ability to make any adjustments because of that. If they come back and say, no, we're cutting your levy can only be this much, then we have to make adjustments to the tax rate and that sort of thing. So in saying that, I want to talk really quickly about it's called the Ordinance or Resolution for Appropriations and Tax Rates. Yep, right there. So this is what we will adopt tonight and we'll go to the Department of Local Government Finance. If you notice, in the bottom right-hand corner of that first chart up there that says 1.3324, that is the overall tax rate that we are adopting tonight. However, it's not going to remain there. I can tell you that right now. Because for the past, I can't tell you how many years, we have always ended up getting down to a $1.07 tax rate. So it'll be 1.07 and maybe some change there. We always advertise high. So we advertise higher than we know we're going to be allowed to, because it just helps you basically get all of the tax levy that you know you need. But if you don't advertise high and you advertise lower, there's a chance you won't get all the levy that you really have coming to you. So I want to make that one point clear that is not going to be what the DLGF comes back and allows us to do. We typically get cut. When I was at my former superintendency, same thing happened. We get our 1782 in January. It's a form where the DLGF sends you, okay, now here's your actual budget. It would always say, this item cut because you can't fund that. You're not allowed to have that much of a levy coming from your taxpayers. So once again, these are estimates, not our final budget, if any of that makes sense, because school finance is very interesting. So I want to describe that one. Next, we have the resolution to adopt school bus replacement plan. So we put together a school bus replacement plan every year. It goes out, well, we extend ours out more. I think we go about 12 years out. You don't have to go that far. I think you have to go at least 6, where we identify the buses over the years that we are going to sell off because they've reached the end of their usefulness, and then we buy new ones to replace those. Doesn't mean we have to do that. Just because you put a bus replacement plan together doesn't mean you have to buy buses every year, but it allows you to if you need to. So that's that one. And then resolution to adopt the capital projects plan. And by the way, both of these plans, the bus replacement and the CPF, were on our website as they're required to be. Capital projects plan is where we put together an idea of projects we may do. Once again, doesn't lock you in that you have to do these projects. They typically want you to put down anything that's going to cost more than $10,000. And then you can do those projects over the next 3 years. So we put together kind of things I thought we might do over the next few years. that are more than $10,000, and that's been on our website since before the hearing that we had. So the board will be adopting that one also. Then there is the resolution for anticipated 2026 transfers between the education fund and the operations fund. In the state of Indiana, you're allowed to transfer up to 15% from the education fund into the operations fund for things that can't be spent out of the education fund, that really have to be spent in the operations fund. When the state changed the way they changed our buckets in the past, there used to be what was called the general fund, and the general fund went toward both educational things that went on in the classroom in the schools, but then also operational type things. Then they split that apart, and what they found was that there was still some money coming into the education fund that really was supposed to be going toward operations types of things. So this allows us to transfer that 15%. We can't go over 15%. Well, I guess you can, but then you end up on the naughty list with the state, and we don't want to be on the naughty list. So it has the amount right there that we're allowed to transfer out of education into operations. And we do typically do the full 15% because we need all that money in operations to keep our schools running. So, and I think that does it for all of the resolutions that the board is going to, or that I'm going to ask them to adopt. So with that, I'll make that, turn that over to you to adopt, unless you have more questions or anything like that.
Move to approve.
I'll second. Mr. Elliott, Mr. Blundell. Any further discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes 3-0. And on to item number 5, resolution for additional appropriations.
Yeah, so this is separate from our 2026 budget. This is actually going to take place in '25 before the end of the calendar year. But I put it on for tonight since it was, kind of appropriate to go along with what we're already doing budget-wise. Asking the board to approve for an additional appropriation in our operations fund in the amount of $800,000. We are going to need to spend more in operations in 2025 than what we were originally approved for through the DLGF. You can only do that if you have a cash balance that allows you to do that. We are estimating that we will have a cash balance once we get our second draw of tax funds to be able to spend additionally if we need to. We're asking for $800,000 additional appropriation. Does not mean we have to spend that. I'm hoping we don't spend all of that. We seem to be making a little bit of headway in operations. Mariah said this past report she ran that things seemed like they were heading in a bit better direction in operations, so that we're hoping we won't have to tap into all of that. But we're going to have to tap into some of it because we've got more expenses there than what we can appropriate at this time. So that's the recommendation I'm making.
A motion to approve the additional appropriation.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Mr. Blundell. Mr. Elliott, any further discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That motion will pass 3-0. Item number 6, consideration of the minutes from the previous executive session and board meeting.
Mr. President, I move that we approve both the executive session and regular board meeting.
Mr. Elliott, is there a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Blundell. Further discussion on the previous minutes? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That'll pass 3-0. Item number 7, consideration of the claims and the payroll vouchers.
Yeah, I just have a few comments about claims. Just a couple things that aren't always on there monthly. They're kind of the ones that are more out of the ordinary. We did make a payment to MSD Wayne Township for our first quarter payment. We have some special needs students that attend school in MSD Wayne. at a special program there. So we made a first payment there of $75,000. We paid Lee Company for the new bleachers in the middle school. Surprised they didn't invoice us for that earlier, but because that got done this summer, but they just invoiced us, so we paid that, plus they came and did our bleacher inspections of both our indoor bleachers and outdoor bleachers, so we paid for that. And then we had some heating and cooling contracting that we had to bring some heating, cooling, and plumbing, had to bring some contractors in to work on some things, and that was $26,370 there. The Lee Company, I didn't mention, that was $64,045. The Lee Company, that came out of bonds. The payment to MSD Wayne comes out of Education Fund, and the heating and cooling, I'm probably guaranteeing we probably took that out of bonds too, since that was some improvement. So we're trying to not spend as much out of operations as possible, so. That's all the comments I had on claims.
Do I have a motion to,
Yeah, I'll put a motion.
will I have a motion to approve A through D, lump them together from certified classified? Oh, no,
No,
sorry, I'm on
we're
claims,
on
I'm
the
one off.
vouchers.
Yeah, sorry. Mr. Blundell, do I have a second for the payroll vouchers and claims?
Okay.
Hmm?
I second it. Do I have any other choice?
Yeah. Any further discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That passes 3-0. Now we're on to item number 8, which is consideration of the personnel recommendations.
Yep. Don't really have many comments at all, other than I know we have a lot of ECA recommendations there, so I just want to thank all of those people who have volunteered to take the time to do a bunch of different coaching, whether that's athletic or academic. Yeah, that's about all I have.
Move to approve.
I'll second.
Mr. Elliott, Mr. Blundell. Any further discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That passes 3-0.
Shelley was wondering, are you doing all the reports together?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, that was all the personnel.
no problem.
Item number 9, consideration of the wellness policy update.
Yeah, so actually the next two items are kind of same thing we're gonna be doing with those. So both the wellness policy and then the internet policy after that. Basically, every year we ask the board to confirm that they have looked over these policies and plans, because oftentimes there are certain grants we apply for that we have to show in the minutes that the board has looked over the wellness policy and the internet policy, which contains the Children Internet Protection Act. One big thing we apply for every year that the Internet Protection Act has to be reviewed for is called E-rate. There are federal subsidies that we get for better internet rates for our internet, better rates for improving like our camera systems and things like that. And every so often, they make you submit proof from your board minutes that the board actually went over those policies. So I know originally in my correspondence to the board, I said that we really didn't need to take action. I've kind of rethought that. We probably should, just so that shows in the minute that you're voting that this was in your packet well ahead of time. You had a chance to review it. And so that's all we really need to do is probably have you vote that you've done that.
I have a motion to approve the wellness policy update.
I'll make a motion.
Mr. Blundell, is there a second?
I second.
Mr. Elliott, any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That passes 3-0.
And so
And then
that's
you
really-
went over the internet policy, so we'll just vote for that
Yep,
separate.
you're just
So
gonna do the same thing, that it's been in your packet and you've had a chance to review it.
motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Elliott, Mr. Blundell, further discussion? All those in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, that motion passes 3-0. Item 11, other.
Yeah, I've got a few things I can talk about, just give some highlights about some stuff. First thing is, Wish TV has asked our own broadcasting class to contribute an episode of our Monrovia High School happenings for publication on their site. So at some point, not sure when that'll be, you'll see some Monrovia happenings, an episode on Wish TV. So very exciting. They're asking local schools that have a broadcasting class to do that. So very cool for our high school to be able to put something together for Wish TV. So excited to see that. A few other things. Our roofing project is continuing to move along. I was actually up there today showing some people around, and the work that they're doing is top notch. I mean, they've got the sections of the roof that are being done are really well sealed up, so we shouldn't have any major leaking like we've had in the past. So that's going well. We're continuing on with the PA intercom replacement in both buildings here and the elementary. They're still working on getting some speakers wired in. There's a few speakers they're waiting on to come in through the supply chain, but that's going pretty well. LED lighting project, they got the football lights replaced. If any of you were at our last football game, I could definitely tell there was a difference there, much crisper, so that's done. They're gonna move on to our other athletic fields here soon. And we still have just a few tiny little odds and ends inside our buildings, couple rooms that were kind of hidden. They may not have seen that they didn't hit, so we're gonna get them in there to get those rooms done too. We had therapy dogs visit today at the middle school, high school. The previous visit was to the elementary school. It's always neat when we see those dogs come through. Reminder, we've got fall break next week, 13th through the 17th. October 24th is a professional development day for staff, so no students attend on that day. Let's see, elementary school happenings, a few things here. October 23rd, we have parent-teacher conferences. October 24th, there's a Halloween dance. Middle school, right now, they are taking part in the iLearn checkpoints. It's taking place over the next 2 weeks prior to fall break. Parent-teacher conferences at the middle school, evening of the 23rd of October. October is Bully Prevention and Substance Abuse Month. These important topics are going to be discussed throughout the month. Rachel's Challenge is a convocation that will visit the middle school on October 29th to share a message of kindness. It's provided for free due to our partnership with CIESC. High school, seniors financial aid. So FAFSA is October 23rd at 6 o'clock in the auditorium. Any parents with kids going to college, I guarantee you're going to want to be there because it gives a lot of help on how to fill out that FAFSA for financial aid. So once again, that is October 23rd, 6 p.m. in the auditorium. High school's having a fall open house on October 23rd. Teachers are available for parents to schedule an appointment. FFA on September 24th, FFA attended Area 6 soil judging contest, finished 8th overall. Olivia Gray, Ariana Becker, Grace Daniel, Genesis Thompson all took part in that. October 7th, the FFA teamed with the Martinsville chapter to show their appreciation to the farmers of Morgan County by providing a warm meal straight to the field. This was for all members of the farm operation. Meal consisted of a hot sandwich, either cheeseburger, pulled pork, or pulled chicken, chips, a cookie or brownie, and a drink. So pretty cool the FFA did that for our farmers. And then I want to talk about our singing stars for September. So this is about choir. Concert choir singing star was Nate Turpin. Second period, 6th grade boys, Jashawn Hayes. Third period, 6th grade girls, Peyton Kitten. 7th grade, Nash Rollins. Josie Hatfield, sixth grade. Thank you. And Shooting Stars, Parker Stanley. And then just a few things about Monrovia sports. Cross country has had a successful season. The girls, I believe, were county champs. Very cool there. I think boys finished second in the county. We have sectionals coming up for both boys and girls soccer and girls volleyball. So girls soccer and boys soccer start this week and volleyball is next week. So I think that's it for me for additional.
Item 12 will be an opportunity for final public comment.
I have a comment.
Okay,
Alicia Williams.
if you, yeah, name and address, and then you'll have 2 minutes.
It's Alicia Williams, 13081 Almond West Street, Mooresville, 46158. I am coming to the board tonight in regards to the special education teacher that took over for the elementary. I personally have a nonverbal student in that class. That's probably one of the most complex students that is in that class. I've reached out to several other parents. I am here on behalf of all of them tonight. We all have concerns. Some kids can talk, some kids cannot. We think it is highly inappropriate for her to still be within the school altogether, but let alone being in charge of the most vulnerable children that you have within your school corporation. Because these kids can't advocate for themselves. Some of them can't speak for themselves. And as special needs parents, we already wonder whether or not we're doing a good enough job. So then when we drop the kids off, we have to wonder, well, are our kids going to be the next ones that she tries to take? Are our kids going to be the next one she's claiming child abuse on? My son has made great strides since he started with the school. When he started the developmental preschool last year, he couldn't walk, he couldn't talk. He walked with a gait trainer. And since he started getting physical, speech, and occupational therapy 4 times a week for the last year, going into this year, he's walking. We have a blooming vocabulary. He's running, he's climbing, he's playing on the play sets. And as a mom, I'm not going to hold him back because he's going to do the things he can do as long as I continue to make them available to him, which would be your physical, your speech, and your occupational therapy within the school. Dropping him off with the aides that are in that classroom, the bus aides, the classroom aides, but when it comes down to it, the teacher that you have in charge of these kids is the one that scares me the most. She's the one that I have to worry about. I'm already a single mom raising my kids by myself with the help of my mom and dad because I couldn't protect them from their own dad. And now I have to worry about whether or not I have to protect them from a teacher that's supposed to protect them. Not okay with that. And neither are their parents. That's all I've got.
Thank you. Are there any other public comments at this time? And I just need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
And a second. Mr. Blundell, second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Adjourn 7:02.
Thanks everybody for coming.